Hello TL Travelers, and welcome back to the TL Travel YouTube channel. If you are new here, you may not know that we just returned from Mexico, and I am currently isolating here in Alberta for two reasons. The first being that it is super cold outside, like -40 style, freezing cold, so hibernation is key. But also I was chosen for a rapid test on arrival, and it was indicated to me that like I probably didn't need to isolate because I had received a PCR test before I left Mexico, but also then when I went on the website, it indicated that I did need to isolate until I received my results. So I work from home, so that's what I'm doing. And yeah, just like hiding from the snow, hiding from the temperature, and getting some work done here at home. So I wanted to take this opportunity to sit down with you as promised and chat a little bit about our experience with WestJet Vacations and AMResorts, because that's who we traveled with right here from the comfort of my cozy home. So if you've not already hit that like and subscribe button, definitely go ahead and do that now, because I post new travel content every single Sunday. I'll also leave some links to our Mexico content down below so you can hop back and check that out anytime. And yeah, without further ado, let's just jump into this review. So starting with WestJet Vacations, I'm just gonna say, like, full disclosure, we chose WestJet Vacations specifically because it had direct flights to our destination, so we didn't have to lay over in the US, and the prices just happened to be the best that we could find at the time. So we really had no other like loyalty to WestJet or WestJet Vacations going into this. And all of that said, the experience was pretty much the same as any other vacation package that we've taken. We had no like extraordinary circumstances where they went above and beyond. We also had no circumstances where like things went poorly. The only real difference that we found traveling now versus traveling before was just dealing with like the extra little things that you need to provide, like paperwork and all of that, which isn't WestJet specific. But what we did really like about WestJet was that they do have a link on their website, and I will put that in the description down below so that you can check that out if you're planning a trip. But what that link does is allow you to, before you even book a flight, put in your departure city and your arrival destination and the dates that you plan on traveling, and it will show you what paperwork or entry requirements are needed from you as a traveler, and it just makes things a lot easier. So no complaints there. And yeah, that's kind of it for like the WestJet Vacations side of things. Now, another reason why we chose WestJet Vacations though was because they do service some of the AMResorts that we were looking at, specifically Secrets Akumal, which is where we ended up visiting on this trip. And I just wanted to talk a little bit about why we chose specifically that resort and that resort sort of umbrella or resort chain, given this situation going on in the world at the moment. Now, if you've been on this channel for any amount of time, you know that we haven't really been traveling as often as we usually would be during this time. That was just a choice that we made. I did a whole video disclaimer about this trip that I will also link down below. It's unlisted, but if you want to check it out, you're more than welcome to do that. It goes a little bit more in depth into how we felt about traveling and why we chose the exact trip when we chose it. But one of the things that we really liked about Secrets Akumal and the other AMResorts was that they do have a lot of policies in place specifically to keep you safe. And one of the things that had been really sort of like weighing on my decision making every time that we looked into booking a trip was there's been a lot of reports of different hotels in different countries sort of like scamming travelers into having to stay so that they can make up some money on their end, which obviously everybody's going through hard times. So like I don't want to get into judging that whole situation, but basically what we've been hearing on the travel consulting side of things, which is what I do for a living, is that there are some resorts where people have been receiving positive COVID tests, at which point they are then notified that they have to stay for the 14 days, and then they get to stay in their room or stay in a quarantine room at a lower rate or a discounted rate, but they still end up having to pay for that extra stay, and it just becomes a whole bunch of chaos. But one of the things that AM Resorts does is that if you are booking for more than 3 nights, and you do happen to test positive during your stay, your 14-day quarantine period is paid for or covered by the resort itself, which is great for 2 reasons. The first, obviously, is that it just provides a little more peace of mind financially for me, knowing that if I am, taking the risk and there is a possibility, obviously, of contracting it while I'm there, that I am financially covered and I do have somewhere to stay, but also knowing that it's in their best interest to keep their travelers safe, because obviously it's not in their financial interest to have us all quarantined there. So that was really sort of a element of staying with them that we really liked when we booked. And then our overall experience really was in line with what we expected that it would be, with all of those safety precautions and guarantees in place. Their staff was all incredibly respectful and super friendly, and they all had masks and the little shield glasses and things on at all times. When they were serving you food, they had gloves, and they'd bring sanitizer over to your daybed and sanitize your hands before handing you a drink, and it was a whole thing. So we really never felt unsafe there at any point, and we also were fine. So we got our negative PCR tests in a good amount of time before flying home, obviously, and here we are, still good to go. So if you were interested in how the whole process went and just checking out the resort, we also have some footage from our PCR tests, which was good times, but I will link that all in the description down below so that you can check it out. And if you've ever traveled with WestJet Vacations, or specifically to an AM resort that you liked or disliked, I encourage you to leave that in the comments down below and just sort of help people to make decisions on where they may want to or where they may not want to visit on their next vacation. But that's going to be it for me for today. So if you've not already hit that like and subscribe button, definitely go ahead and do it. And until I see you in the next one, stay great, travel safe, and I'll see you next Sunday. Bye.